Can the major pet food companies survive? Welcome back to Off-Label Veterinary News, your source for commentary on animals, medicine, and practice life. If this is your first time and you're just now discovering this content, then do me a favor and go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that we can reach as many veterinary colleagues as possible. Let's jump in to whether or not I think the major pet food companies can survive. Who longs for the good old days in pet food manufacturing? Back when we only had to really know 4 pet food manufacturers: Hills, Purina, Iamjukanuba, and Royal Canin. Well, today, there are 3 major manufacturers, and there are approximately 2,427 independent pet food companies that every day a client brings in a new one off the internet and asks me, "Hey doc, what do you think about this one?" Well, it's true. The independent, smaller pet food manufacturers are now at the top of the heap when it comes to pet food sales. In fact, a recent UBS study found that independent pet foods dominated the market with a share of 33.7%. So how did we get to here? The pace of advances in veterinary nutrition is at a staggering rate today, much of it fueled by advances coming from the 3 major pet food manufacturers. Now, for those bigger companies, it takes a while to actually get the whole machine going, but if you're a smaller, more nimble, flexible, quick company, then you can take those latest and greatest nutritional advancements that the big pet food company made and adapt it to your marketing and formulation teams and come to the consumer much faster, giving you a competitive advantage when it comes to fresh and clean. And while we're on the subject of clean labels, clean proteins, clean eating, clean feeding, all of those terms deeply impact how pet owners are choosing and selecting diets for their dogs and cats. That's hot. But let's get back to that question. What is driving today's pet owner to buy pet foods that maybe we haven't even heard of? And I would say first and foremost, it is this lack of trust in these major brands. The public, much of the pet owning public, somehow believes that pet food companies put profit above product and safety. And of course, we've had some very high profile pet food recalls over the past decade to sort of reinforce that distrust. The second thing that independent pet food companies have done remarkably well is they've tapped into the humanization trend at a very deep and meaningful level. In fact, Blue Buffalo's slogan goes, "Treat them like family, feed them like family." They're family and we're feeding them the same kind of stuff. Another thing that they've done really well is transparency. So many of these smaller pet food companies are actually opening up and saying, this is where we source our proteins, this is how we get our vegetables, this is our processing, this is our distribution, and so forth. So they've really tapped into that distrust of the big giant pet food companies by saying, here's what we do, it's an open door. And then finally, I think that pet owners today, more than ever, want to consume, purchase, and participate in products that they feel are doing something good. Now, this good can be for their pets. So health benefits, functional foods, functional treats, really that good for my pet. So health benefits that are outside of just, keeping them alive. The second thing is, what's it doing good for the community, for the planet, animal welfare? All of these are issues that are really rising to the forefront of millennial pet owners. So you're starting now to see companies that have strong ethos that is embedded in their branding. So they're saying, look, we are out here trying to reduce greenhouse emissions. We are trying to reduce deforestation. We're trying to reduce some of the problems with factory farming and improve animal welfare. In these same surveys, one of the things that I think we need to take note of is that price of pet food is really lower on the list. In fact, most surveys show it comes in around number 3 with things like health benefits, safety. We need better choices at lower price points. So I would like to push the industry, continue to challenge the pet food industry to deliver the highest quality of nutrition with the safest and best ingredients at affordable price points. So if you're a large pet food manufacturer today, if you're a distributor rep, if you somehow are working in a veterinary facility, then I think there's a couple of take-home messages. One, be aware that our clients are purchasing a lot of independent, smaller brands that we may or may not be aware of. We don't know a lot about. Number two, they have questions about transparency and safety and health benefits of their food. And we as veterinary professionals need to lead with these messages. If you're a distributor rep, you need to make sure that you're telling your veterinary clients. If you're a veterinarian, you need to tell your pet owning clients. Say, hey, look, this is why we believe in certain nutritional tenets, and this is why we select these certain brands. And finally, we need to make pet foods more accessible. One of the biggest reasons why this direct-to-consumer in-home delivery stuff is popping in all sectors of life and retail is because people want it easier. Many manufacturers have been working on these individualized, personalized, direct delivered foods for pets, and I think you're only going to continue to see it explode. One final strategy that some of the larger companies are using is actually to acquire veterinary clinics, because we know that if a veterinarian or a veterinary technician makes a food recommendation, then typically the pet owner is going to accept that. Now, you're looking at Mars. They own Banfield. They own VCA. I think you're going to see more and more of this in the space. You know, you've got Petco with Pet Coach. I mean, all these different pathway types of groups. I believe that one other strategy for the big companies to survive is to acquire veterinary services to help funnel and direct their nutritional products. So, again, lots of ways to stay alive. That's it for another edition of Off-Label Veterinary News. If you like content like this, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you'll find out as soon as content like this drops on your internet doorstep. Until next time, keep living that off-label life. Bye.